Buenas tardes y bienvenidos a todos. Good afternoon and welcome everyone. Welcome to a community dedicated to providing spiritual tools for living a happy and full life. My name is Karina Shear, and I am the spiritual director and founding minister here at the Center for Spiritual Living Puerto Vallarta. Today is Saturday, July 3rd, and we're continuing our theme, which is Timeless Wisdom Evolutionary Vision for this year. Our topic for this month of July is pulled by vision. And the topic for this week is We Hold These Truths. Suggested books for reading this month are Can We Talk to God by Ernest Holmes and Spiritual Liberation, Fulfilling Your Soul's Potential by Michael Bernard Beckwith. And as we do each week, we open with a spiritual practice called affirmative prayer. It's also known as spiritual mind treatment. And this is a powerful tool and a practical tool that helps to shift our consciousness so that we are open and available to accept the good that is already present in our life. It aligns our thoughts with all good. So let's move into today's service with intention, as we do each week, with a reading from the Creative Thought magazine. And today I'll be reading from July 3rd, 2014. Just a reminder that spiritual mind treatment is always done in the first person. So I invite you to close your eyes and take these words as your own, if you so choose. I am open to spirit. Here and now, I know that there is only one, the divine, omniscient, omnipotent, and omnipresent. The one is the source of all, and I am uniquely individualized of the one that I choose to call spirit. Spirit is the divine givingness that expresses through all, as all, and is perfect, whole, and complete in its infinite being. Knowing that spirit is fully present at all times in all things, and knowing that spirit is always for the good, I am consciously aware that any unique situations occurring in my life always have a divine answer. This answer flows to me and through me because I am open to spirit in my life. I am fully aware that spirit is everywhere, is everything, and everyone. I release thoughts that do not serve the highest and best, as I am open to new ideas, thoughts, and beliefs that change how I see things. Therefore, the things I see change, always for the good. I think past any limits as they are dissolved into the nothingness of unbelief, for partaking of the divine and partaking of the infinite, which is limitless. I know only gratitude as I see things differently and have a new level of consciousness that sees the truth and goodness in my unique life situations. Knowing the answers are always provided, I gratefully release my word to the law, and so it is. And that was submitted by my friend, Reverend Melody Bailey from Kelowna, BC. So as we do each week as well, let's together review our purpose, vision, and mission statements. Our purpose is to awaken and celebrate diversity and to love and serve our community. We do this by means of our vision, which is to educate and support each other so we can create the life we desire that works for us right now. And we do this by means of our mission, which is to provide spiritual tools for personal growth and transformation. So these, of course, are our own uh, vision, mission, and purpose statement for the Center for Spiritual Living Puerto Vallarta. And each center will have their own, as well as our global organization. So we'll talk a bit more about that in a little bit. But at this time, I would like to truly welcome everyone, including those that are new to our teaching and to our center here in Puerto Vallarta. Whether you're here on the Zoom call live or watching a replay at a later time, please know that everyone is welcome here, and we value each and every one of you. Here, we teach a philosophy called the science of mind, and it's a teaching based on new thought and ancient wisdom. We offer spiritual tools and principles to promote personal growth. And we've experienced one of those already this morning or this afternoon with our opening spiritual mind treatment. And as I mentioned, we honor diversity in all aspects so that we can see and appreciate the great oneness that already exists everywhere and within everyone. When Dr. Ernest Holmes founded this teaching in the 1920s, he had studied both Eastern and Western spiritual texts in order to create the science of mind, which focuses on the individual use of thoughts and this powerful thing called the mind. When asked to provide a concise definition of the science of mind teaching, he had replied that it is a correlation of laws of science, opinions of philosophy, and revelations of religion applied to human needs and aspirations. So each week, we offer a service with an inspirational message. Today is going to be a little bit more scientific in nature, but I think you'll enjoy it nonetheless. In the past, we have been meeting in a restaurant in downtown Puerto Vallarta, but because we are still required to wear masks outside our home and in gatherings, we will be continuing to meet here in my home via Zoom. So mi casa is su casa. But we look forward to once again having discussions afterwards and enjoying some home-style Mexican cooking when we can gather safely together in public. And hopefully this will be soon. So if you have any questions or comments, you can post them wherever it is that you are watching this, or you can send me an email and I'll be sure to respond. So for this week, our evolutionary vision from the Centers for Spiritual Living Global Vision are this. The act of conscious co-creation results in a world that is created through the collective us. Our actions are driven by clarity, courage, and conviction. And we particularly resonate with these aspects of our global vision. We envision a world where personal responsibility joins with social conscience in every area of the political, corporate, academic, and social sectors, providing sustainable structures to further the emerging global consciousness. We envision a world where each and every person has enough food, a home, and a sense of belonging. A world of peace and harmony, enfranchisement, and justice. We see a world in which each and every person lives in alignment with their highest spiritual principle, emphasizing unity with God, connection with each other. A world in which individually and collectively we are called to a higher state of consciousness and action. Our timeless wisdom from our Science of Mind principles, core concepts, and values for this week are these. From the what we believe in core concepts, they state, we believe in the incarnation of spirit in humankind, and that all people are incarnations of the one spirit. We believe the ultimate goal of life to be complete emancipation from all discord of every nature, and that this goal is sure to be attained by all. We believe in the unity of all life, and that the highest God and the innermost God is one God. We will be continuing on with these throughout the rest of the month. So these are just a portion of our beliefs and values. So this month, we take the opportunity to revisit our spiritual principles and using them as a launching pad for a fuller expression of our vision. We are pulled forward by the vision, and this is an opportunity to revision, refine, and recommit to that vision. We explore more deeply how living from Kingdom 3 consciousness, also known as Stage 3 of spiritual development, advances us toward a more lived experience of freedom. Our global vision is a world that works for everyone and for all creation. I've already mentioned some of our vision statements in this weekly vision statement at the opening of today. Our declaration of principles and core concepts support our vision, and we can attain this vision through love and acceptance of everyone by honoring diversity. And we must raise our consciousness to achieve this. Pythagoras said, "Consciousness sleeps in the stone, dreams in the plant, awakens in the animal, and slowly becomes aware of itself in man." In nature, we can distinguish 5 kingdoms. The 3 subhuman kingdoms, mineral, vegetable, and animal, the human kingdom, and the kingdom of the souls. All of these kingdoms are expressions of the soul of all things, or the soul of matter. This ascending of a chain of kingdoms is called the process of evolution. And the 3rd kingdom is that of animals. Here, the level of consciousness is stepped up again to a higher level than the preceding kingdom of vegetables. And now consciousness starts to awaken and becomes active. The next, or 4th kingdom, is the kingdom of man, human. Here, the first symptoms of self-consciousness are shown. This means that man is becoming aware of being a separate identity or a separated identity, and an indwelling impulse or soul within a body or form. And as humans, we have levels of consciousness. The first level is that of survival, where our basic necessities are met. Potentially limiting values would be greed and manipulation. The second is conforming with others or our relationships, where there's a sense of belonging and safety. Potentially limiting values would be jealousy, blame, and revenge. The third is differentiating ourselves from others, or our self-esteem and confidence. Potentially limiting values for this could be pride, conceit, superiority, and discrimination. The 4th level is transformation, freedom, courage, and personal growth. The 5th level is self-actualizing, where we have honesty, trust, creativity, authenticity, and meaning. The 6th level is integrating, or becoming or making a difference, where we collaborate, mentor, and make alliances. And the final, or seventh, is serving, which includes compassion, forgiveness, and contributing to future generations. When we reflect on the writings, the talks, and the radio programs of Dr. Ernest Holmes during the Korean War conflict, we see that he encouraged us to know the content of the foundational documents and principles of the United States. As we look at our global Centers for Spiritual Living communities today, it's reasonable to infer that he would encourage people of all nations to know and understand the workings of their respective governments, and to universally use the science of mind principles and practices to help us identify our roles and our responsibilities as spiritual citizens of the planet. Sherry Evans said this: "Unity is the song of life. It is the grand theme underlying the rich variations that exist throughout the cosmos. Whatever we see, whatever we experience, is only a manifestation of this eternal oneness." So let's look at our 3 key points for today. Number 1, we recognize and act from the truth. Number 2, acknowledging our interconnectedness, our oneness. And number 3, why we are here. So yes, we recognize and act from the truth. We have evolved to a level of understanding where we recognize and act from the truth that scarcity is a lie. We are now consciously and with all deliberate speed creating internal organizations, institutes, communities, and practices that collaboratively demonstrate and celebrate that this is an abundant universe. As spiritual citizens, we are excited about this unique foundation established by the farmers of the US Constitution, as well as the visionaries like Nelson Mandela and our ancient wisdom and new thought sheroes and heroes that lay the foundation for conscious evolutions of nations of the world. In The Science of Mind, Dr. Ernest Holmes wrote this: "In our ignorance of the truth, we must have misused the highest power we possess. And so great is this power, so complete is our freedom in it, so absolute the domain of law through it, that the misuse of this power has brought upon us the very conditions from which we suffer." And that's from the Science of Mind textbook. Thich Nhat Hanh said this: "Aware of economic, political, and social realities around the world, as well as our interrelationship with the ecosystem, we are determined to behave responsibly as consumers and citizens." So we must acknowledge our interconnectedness, our oneness. When we declare the infinite or the infinitude of the infinite, we acknowledge our interconnectedness, our oneness, and our social and moral responsibility to honor that infinite presence within each person. It is vitally important to provide a safe space for the peaceful expression of experience of every member of every group of society, and to create life-affirming institutions and organizations that do no harm. We commit to honor the magnificent diversity of humanity, recognizing that every racial, cultural, gender, ethnic, age, or ability identity brings an energetic and intelligence that is essential to the creative, life-affirming evolution of humanity. Yes, each and every one of us belongs. We are each a puzzle piece to the global oneness, so to speak. Malcolm X said this: when I becomes we, even illness becomes wellness. So we must come together, work together for all of us to succeed. Which brings us to our third point, why we are here. We are here to actualize and expand the vision of the founders of our country, whether it be Canada, the United States, or elsewhere, and of the new thought, ancient wisdom. By our presence on the planet right now, we signed up, volunteered. Through our spiritual practices, especially through the practice of visioning, it may seem like we are being voluntold, but don't be afraid of being who you are. Each and every one of us is an important piece of that giant puzzle. Howard Thurman wrote in Meditations of the Heart this quote: there is no alternative to the insistence that we cannot escape from personal responsibility for the social order in which we live. This means that there must be participation in the social process, and that quite specifically. This weekend aligns with the 4th of July, Independence Day of the United States, tomorrow, and recently Canada Day, which was July 1st. And this weekend's spiritual and religious celebrations in the United States, in particular, is a chance to embrace a vision of freedom, justice, equality, respect, and stewardship. All people are created equal, endowed by their Creator with unalienable rights, life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. In our New Thought, Ancient Wisdom principles, values, and teachings, we believe in and affirm the principles of individual and collective spiritual, physical, and psychological evolution. We must evolve consciously as well as organically. We know that we are co-creators. We have the responsibility, the opportunity, and the authority to create a world in which everyone has the opportunity to thrive. On this sacred day, we get to unshade the truth, be inclusive in our cultural and spiritual engagement, and to create safe mental, spiritual, and physical spaces filled with the excitement of human interaction based on authentic and mutual love and respect. So let's level up in consciousness together to make this truly a world that works for everyone. And I'd like to leave you with this quote from Leonora Tubbs Tisdale from her book, Prophetic Preaching, a Pastoral Approach. She said this: hope of a new day to come when people would beat their swords into plowshares and their spears into farming implements. Hope of a coming time when children would safely play without fear of harm. And this is our affirmation for today. I am the spiritual and moral arc of the universe. And so now it's our time for mindful giving and financial support of our spiritual home. And we rely on your support to continue our center here in Puerto Vallarta so that we can continue offering this powerful teaching of the science of mind. And we bless the financial gifts that you give today. Each and every donation is greatly appreciated. Donations can be made using our PayPal through our website. And so I'll just post that up on the screen for you. So if you go to our website, www.cslpv.org, on the landing page, you'll see a Donate Now button. And when you click on that, it will take you to PayPal, where you can process your donations in whichever manner you wish. Or if you prefer to write a paper check, you can certainly do that and send it addressed to CSLPV number 403 2125 Birch Road, Kelowna, BC, V1Y8M1. And so now, if you would like to join me in our offertory affirmation. I know that my giving blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, and all that I give and receive. I do give eternal thanks for the abundance that is mine to share. So thank you for spending this time with me. And if you would like to have a one-on-one connection for spiritual mind treatment to assist you with change or anything else that's going on in your life, please connect with me. If you'd like to commit to being a member of the Center for Spiritual Living Puerto Vallarta for this current year, or if you would like to be on our board of trustees, please connect with me as well so that we can send you the current forms. Then let's continue with our practice of peace. We can each be a force of peace and nonviolence. Our words and our actions create ripples of peace all around us and beyond. Peaceful living includes acting with compassion, kindness, and consideration. And it also includes standing up against injustice. So go out and enjoy the weekend, spreading love and peace wherever you are. May peace and love be with you. Thank you for spending this time again, and peace and blessings. Namaste.